It's January 28th, 2026. Welcome to yes2hellwith.com. The Internal Revenue Code does not regulate human beings. It regulates legal constructs. That distinction is structural. Congress does not write statutes to govern living men and women. It writes statutes to govern defined statuses that exist within its delegated authority. That is why the code begins with definitions. Before any obligation can exist, the code must first establish to whom it applies. The term person is defined in 26 U.S.C. 7701A1. Quote, "The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, estate, partnership, association, company, or corporation," end quote. This definition is inclusive, not universal. It does not describe what exists in the natural world. It identifies what Congress has chosen to treat as a legal subject for purposes of Title 26. Most of the listed items are plainly artificial: trusts, estates, partnerships, corporations. One term causes confusion, and that is individual. An individual, as used in the code, is not the living man or woman. It is a statutory abstraction, a legal role through which regulation may occur if jurisdiction exists. Inside Title 26, an individual is treated no differently than a corporation. It is a juridical unit, not a human being. It exists only by operation of statute. The real man or woman exists before the code. The individual exists only inside of it. The code does not automatically convert one into the other. Let's look at United States person, the jurisdictional class. The code then narrows further. A United States person is defined in 26 U.S.C. 7701A30. The term United States person means A, citizen or resident of the United States, B, a domestic partnership, C, a domestic corporation, D, any estate other than a foreign estate, or E, any trust. This definition does one thing. It identifies which persons Congress claims federal tax jurisdiction over. A United States person is not a descriptive label, it is a jurisdictional designation. A person is merely a statutory subject. A United States person is a statutory subject inside federal tax jurisdiction. That distinction matters because many operative provisions of the code apply only to United States persons. Federal tax obligations attach only to those within that defined class. Without United States person status, Title 26 has no jurisdictional hook. Now here's the inversion in how presumption operates. Administratively, the system reverses the order. Instead of first establishing authority to act, jurisdiction over the subject, and status as a United States person, the system begins by asserting obligation. The living man or woman is treated as though they are already a statutory individual, therefore a person, and therefore a United States person, therefore liable. None of that sequence is shown. It is presumed. That presumption collapses critical distinctions between the real and the artificial, between existence and status, between jurisdiction and obligation. The Liberty Dialogues rejects that collapse. The Liberty Dialogues restore the order Congress wrote into the code. First, authority. Who is acting and under what delegated power? Second, jurisdiction. Where does that authority lawfully reach? Third, status. Is there a statutory person under 7701A1? If so, has that person been shown to be a United States person under A30 placing it within federal tax jurisdiction. Only after those questions are answered can obligation even be discussed. Not penalties, not enforcement, obligation. Because obligation follows jurisdiction, and jurisdiction follows definition. Here's the core distinction. A real man or woman does not owe duties by presumption. Only a defined legal status does. The code governs its creations. It does not own the living. When definitions are honored, law replaces presumption. When jurisdiction is proven, order replaces coercion. That is not evasion, it is statutory discipline. And that is what structure looks like when presumption is no longer allowed to run first. And as always, may truth reign supreme.